I just wanted to take a few moments of your time to update you on some of the decisions we're taking in relation to keeping all Australians safe during the COVID-19 pandemic, and in particular because of the very serious outbreak of the virus in India. The temporary pause that we put in place, preventing people from returning from India for these 2-week period, has been making a big difference. I know it's been difficult. We didn't take the decision lightly, but it is working. The infection rates are now falling. At our National Centre for Resilience at Howard Springs, our quarantine facility run with the Northern Territory Government, we have now seen those infections fall by more than a half from a week ago. So the pause is working. And that means, as we intended it to, that this would mean we'd be able to take more decisions to be able to bring more people home safely, while at the same time protecting Australia from a third wave of the virus. Yesterday, the National Security Committee of Cabinet, which I chair, agreed that we would now be resuming those government-facilitated commercial flights from India on May 15 after the current pause concludes. We'll be bringing back to our facility at Howard Springs one flight every 7 to 9 days. There's around about 150 or so people that we can put on those flights. And Howard Springs, by the end of June, we know that we'll have even more flights coming back then. The New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland state governments, in response to my invitation, have also agreed to take facilitated flights this month. That should see us double from around 3 to 6 the number of flights we're bringing back in May. South Australia, I know, through Premier Marshall, is also actively looking at their opportunities to take flights as well, and we'll keep talking to Premier McGowan about when Western Australia might be in a position to do that also. On these flights, we'll be prioritising vulnerable Australians, those who've been registered with our High Commission and with our consular officers across India. At the same time, we know that the pandemic is still in a terrible state, and there is an unfolding tragedy in India that is breaking all of our hearts. So for the next week, we will continue to keep those current restrictions in place. They're necessary to ensure that we keep Australia safe from a third wave, but also to ensure that we put our quarantine facilities in the strongest position to start bringing these flights back to Australia, and so we can keep doing that for the many months ahead. And we will continue to prioritise much needed assistance. I want to thank the Indian community in Australia for its support during this difficult time. I know that you've been seeking for the Australian government to stand with the Indian government as they seek to deal with the terrible calamity that is occurring there in India, and we are. Our humanitarian support has already arrived in India. Our Foreign Minister Marise Payne is working directly with Foreign Minister Jaishankar. I'm speaking directly to Prime Minister Modi about these same issues, and I know they greatly appreciate the support that the Australian government is providing to India at this time. And we will continue to provide that support, and we will continue to encourage others to do likewise. I particularly want to thank all of those who are members of our medical profession. As you know, we have so many Australians of Indian heritage who work in our health system. They are heroes alongside all the rest of our health workers in our country. More than half of the vaccines that are now being administered in Australia are being administered by GPs. And we know how many there are from the Indian community in Australia who work as GPs in this country. So thank you very much for the amazing job that you've been doing, not just recently, but over the course of this entire pandemic. I know this is a very difficult time for our Indian community in Australia, and I want to assure you that all Australians feel likewise. And we want to do everything we can to bring people home safely and to support those in India who aren't Australian citizens or residents, but we want to be able to support to try and alleviate what is a terrible burden that is being carried by that country. India is a great friend of Australia, and Australia is also demonstrating right now our great friendship towards India by providing every support we possibly can. So, in the weeks ahead, we will continue to be bringing Australian citizens and residents and their direct family members back from India. We're going to be doing it safely. We're going to be taking decisions carefully based on the best possible medical advice, as we have done all the way through. We live in Australia in a way at the moment like few other countries can. And that's because we've been careful, we've been cautious, we've worked together to prevent serious outbreaks in this country. So I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your understanding. And we will continue to stand with you during this very, very difficult time for you and all of the Indian community here in Australia.